that was an idea that came out of Dave Pell's, the short game instructor. And Dave was a good friend, and he came out on tour and watched a number of us in our endeavors to play well. And of course, I had a pretty good short game. It was really good. But Dave kind of kept some stats on a number of us, and he came to me in the early 80s and suggested that if I put a 60-degree wedge in, or a more lofted club, the normal loft on a sand wedge in those days was 56 degrees. And so he was suggesting something with more loft that I could hit full and not have it go very far, where I could make a fuller swing and have more control over it, put more spin on it, and have it go a shorter distance. And I kind of was a little dubious and skeptical of some of his thoughts. And so for about 6 months, I kept my own stats, and I charted every shot that I had, at 210 all the way down to 30 yards at 10-yard increments. And I put it on a little chart. And I found that when I was hitting a full shot, I had tremendous control over the distance. But the dispersion was left and right, especially when I got up in the 190s and 200s and stuff like that. As I got closer down to about 130 yards, everything kind of came down. I got more control over the distance, but I also got a lot more control over the accuracy. And I almost had a perfect circle around the target. When I got inside 100 yards, and especially inside 70 yards, what I found was that I had great control over the accuracy, but less control over the distance. And so, what I would find is that I hit a lot of really good looking wedges and would come up 15 or 20 feet short or 15 feet past. And, if you hit it 20 feet past, you might as well have hit it 20 feet to the right. And, everybody would complain about hitting a 70-yard wedge 20 feet to the right, but, they hit it 25 feet past and think, oh man, that was a great swing. But, you didn't have the right touch. And of course, back in the early 80s, PGA Tour average in making putts was about 50% from 6 feet. So the goal was to get it inside 6 feet so you had a good chance of making the putt. And when I found out that Dave was right, I put a club in there that had more loft and shorter length shaft. And when I came out of my shoes and just hit it as hard as I could hit it about 70 yards. And so when I got 30 and 40 yards, I was able to make a much fuller, more aggressive swing and control the ball better. And immediately my game was elevated a significant amount. Should have got a patent on it. If I had, I'd been much better off. But I did have it to myself for about 2 or 3 years until everybody started seeing my stroke average going down, and then they started copying it.